What's going on, everybody? What's up? How y'all doing? Y'all. I feel like every single time I come on here, it's been so long. Like, that's crazy, right? I don't know why it always feels like that. But how y'all doing? Welcome. Welcome, y'all. It's that time. So, child, trying to get this beard together. So, y'all listen. It's been new updates as y'all probably have seen on my community post. So very happy about that. Other than that though, like work has been pretty good and everything else. I'm also y'all. I wait for like 5 minutes, for y'all to come up in here and stuff like that. But you know, mentally, I think I'm in a pretty good space. I would say like maybe like an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, definitely, and things like that. So it's been pretty good. I've been getting back in the gym again since I promise y'all, ever since I took that trip to Dallas, like I've been trying to burn those calories off. But like that Dallas trip, mind you, I didn't even eat that much, but like it was the food that I was eating. Everything's so greasy out there. I feel like my arteries was clogged by the time I came back and everything else like that. Hold on, let me just try to see if I could turn this a little bit more here. So like yeah. Also y'all, I just want to say this. There's been like so much going on in this country, as of, the last week or two. And I just want us to remember now, we don't have to really feel empathy for somebody or sympathy for anybody, but I really do think it is like it creates a very negative karmic balance for yourself when you are celebrating somebody getting unalived. I just want to say that. I think that those type of situations, and I'm speaking mainly about the Charlie Kirk situation, those type of reactions, that type of energy around it just has so much hate in it. You know what I'm saying? And when we show that amount of hate, then they're going to show even more hate, and then we're going to show more hate, and then the violence and the anger is just going to continue to build. And I just don't think that makes any of this situation better for any of us, to be honest. So I'm not like gonna be here like putting funny faced emojis about somebody getting unalived. That's not my thing. Now if they pass away by natural causes, they pass away from health, that's different. But to do parties and weird posts, dancing about somebody getting unalived in front of like their child and their wife, is insane to me. However, I don't really feel that we should try to make it seem like the person was good, like he was a good person. He was not. He was trash. He was disgusting. But at the end of the day, that just doesn't feel right to me. And I know that sounds probably crazy because like I'm really politically charged myself, but I just have boundaries about what I decide not to cross. And I really do feel that you know, karmically, all of that type of stuff comes back. So me sitting here partying and taking pleasure in somebody's demise like that is just gonna come back on me. And I really do feel like y'all really need to think that about yourselves too, because, you know, the repercussions from all of this stuff is gonna always affect us as well. But you know, it is what it is. But y'all listen, we have reached the 5-minute mark. All right, we reached the 5-minute mark. Please put a 1 in the chat if you are ready for this. Also, have y'all liked the video? Have y'all shared my content? Have you shared the video? Let everybody know I was live yet? Did you do that? It's very imperative that you do that. Okay, very imperative. You know, it's how I make it out here. Also, if you want to cash out me, my cash app is in the, you know, handle below right here or right here. So if you guys want to do that, you guys can, but please like the video. That is the most important thing. Okay. Now listen, let me pull up my notes, girl. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. I just gotta blow my nose. It's really cold in here, so my nose runs. Excuse me. Oh, child. Okay, we back. Girl, I'm going. You know, I was gonna actually do this. You know, actually do this live. You know, a little bit earlier. You know, like earlier in the week. But girl, the way y'all been shooting out here, way y'all been shooting in these YouTube streets, I'm glad I ducked low and just waited till it was safe to come outside, because it's been way too much happening. My gosh. Let me get myself, hold on. All right. Okay. Ooh, girl, I'm gonna knock over my laptop. Oh, Lord Jesus. Here we go. Y'all ready? Jesus, give me the strength. And we back. Love and Marriage, Huntsville, the Huntsville of Love and Marriage. Season 10, episode 7. And I really want to say beforehand that I'm giving my MVP cards to Marceau and Destiny this episode. Definitely Marceau and Destiny. I'm giving my clown cards to Maurice, Lance, Nell, and Martell. Yes, I almost forgot his name for a second, child. All right. Now listen. Let's get started. Now, I just want to ask one more time. Is y'all ready for this? Like, do y'all need to go get a drink, or do y'all need to? Is everybody ready? Everybody good? Put another 1 in the chat for me. I just want to make sure, because we have people, you know, always coming in as we're doing this. So I'm just wanting to make sure that we all ready for me to start. All right. So y'all say y'all ready. Okay, let's begin then. All right, so the first episode, not the first, but the first scene picks up where we left off on the last episode. So we see Destiny and Lance meeting up to have a conversation. So Destiny lets us know that Lance has invited her for a long overdue conversation, and that the main thing that she really wants to get out of this is closure so she can just move on, right? He lets her know that it's been really good to see her, and she says, you know, you too. And honestly, you can tell that he still has feelings for her or still has some type of attraction for her. And you can tell that she probably feels the same. I feel like it's something being unspoken between the two that's not being said. It's almost as if Destiny is saying in her body language, why don't you just say it? Say that you still want to, like, you want to, you know, be with me. And Lance is like not trying to let that out. It's really weird to see men, you know, who clearly like a woman be bashful in how they tell them how they feel. You know, like that's some old like middle school shit, like some old like kindergartner shit, like, oh, you know, he pinched me, you know, oh, that just means he like you, baby. Like, you know, no, you're a grown ass man. You should be able to communicate how you feel. But moving on. So he says, you know, I know you got some questions for me, so let me know how you feel. She's like, well, no, you invited me out. Do you have something that you like to say? So then he goes into saying that, well, I was told that I had a baby on the way and I didn't know. He says, and I didn't tell you. And I didn't tell you because I didn't know how you would react. And on top of that, I didn't know if the baby was mine or not. I don't know, Lance. Like, so you telling me, I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. The reason I don't believe that is because you sat there, basically called Destiny a hoe at your mama's vow renewal, you know, ceremony, right? Because she was making googly eyes at somebody. Meanwhile, you out here fucking bitches raw who you don't even know if they letting other niggas fuck them raw. So Destiny can't look at somebody, but you can go around here having sex with women who you don't even know if they have an unprotected sex with other people. And you want me to believe that you didn't know the baby was yours. Girl. Anyway. So Destiny says, okay, well, why didn't you bring it up in LA? He says that I didn't even tell nobody. Like, my parents didn't know, nobody knew. And I know you thought like they knew. I heard that you felt that way, but they didn't even know. Destiny says, but Tisha said that y'all left because the baby was getting born. He's like, no, the baby wasn't getting born. You know, I just felt like I wanted to leave. He was like, when we got back, the baby wasn't even here yet. So like, it wasn't because of that. And I was like, but Nell said that it was because the baby was born. And I honestly didn't know that he was in LA. The way Nell made it sound to me when she brought up the conversation, when she brought up her leaving LA to go back to Huntsville, it made it seem as if Lance was already in Huntsville and she got a call that his baby was about to be born. So she left to go support him and the baby's mother. To me, that's how it sounded when it was being told initially, right? But I see that that's not really, I don't know what to believe at this point. So Lance tells us in the confessional that he really liked Destiny, right? And that they could have even gone as far as to getting married, but he saw red flags. Now, what's the red flags? Like, what are these red flags supposed to be necessarily? Because like you keep on saying this, but you're not really saying what these red flags are. If you and her had already kind of cooled off by the time that, you know, all of the flirty, googly eye shit happened, then what was the red flags? Was the red flags her not begging you to be in an exclusive relationship, or her not, you know, being upset about y'all not being exclusive and trying to push you to be in a you know, relationship? Like, I'm saying, like, what was the red flags here? Because if y'all both mutually decided to be non-exclusive and still date other people, then what did she do that was so much different that made it a red flag. And if you were getting these red flags at this time, it's kind of strange to me how you were still, getting her, security services for her party. So I don't really understand what are these red flags that you saw when it came to her? It's not adding up. So Lance says that he and Destiny were still deciding on if they were going to date, right? Destiny says that at the end of the day, we were friends first. So the fact that you were dishonest hurts that friendship. He says, I wasn't dishonest. I just omitted some details and facts. Nigga, that's lying. That's lying. Omitting facts to convey a certain narrative while telling some truth is a lie. If I tell you that, hey baby, I live in a 3-story house, 4 bathrooms, 6 bedrooms, a big old 80-inch television in the master bedroom. But I forget to tell you that it's my mama and daddy house and they live there and I just stay in the basement. Did I tell you the truth that I lived in a house? Yes. But did I forget to tell you that I don't own the shit and it's my mama and daddy name? Yes. And that's a fucking lie. Because you lied to portray something. And when you do that, that's another thing that I kept on hearing in this episode was like, the reason I like it because I didn't tell her the truth. I don't know. Like, it's weird to me to hear people say, well, I'm not going to tell you the truth because I love you. If you loved me, you would tell me the truth. If you loved me, you would be honest with me. To me, when people omit facts or they don't tell you how they really feel just so they can keep you around, keep you, in their vicinity so they can have access and shit like that. To me, those like that type of shit is controlling. It's manipulative. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just manipulation. You didn't tell her because you wanted to manipulate her. That's why. But let's continue, child. So he said, Lance says that they decided that they weren't exclusive, but he had feelings about it. He's a human. He felt some type of way. Destiny says in her confessional after hearing that, she says, well, I had no idea that he had these deeper feelings for me because he never let me know. And I ended up hearing about all of this through his family and friends. That's so childish for you to not tell this grown-ass woman who you're literally dating that you feel deep feelings for her and that you would like to be exclusive, but you telling everybody else. Like, I don't know, y'all. That's some real bitch ass shit to me. Like, how are you telling everybody else how you feel except the person that you're actually dating? And the fact that you are continuously having these unresolved feelings or these underlying feelings in regards to the dating situation between you and Destiny, but you never told her this, but you're telling everybody else, is really fucked up. And it's some real bitch ass shit, to be honest. Like, you a grown ass man. You the man. Y'all motherfuckers could fix carburetors, can up here be carpenters, engineers, but y'all can't tell motherfuckers how y'all really feel. And that makes me wonder in a lot of these relationships, right, that we see on this show. Did y'all just sit on y'all asses and just wait for the woman to tell y'all they wanted to go to the next level, even though y'all didn't really know if y'all wanted that or not? Or did y'all just want the woman to take the initiative to try to make the relationship more serious instead of you doing that yourself? It's so funny how y'all have like these old school mentalities when it comes to, you know, being a man, except when communicating to a woman who you're dating about how you feel about her, or courting her, or letting her know how much she means to you. Everything can be traditional except that shit. That's when y'all want the women to take initiative. Take this, take the wheel. Be the man. When y'all can't tap into y'all own fucking emotions and let bitches know how y'all really feel, like that's weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't imagine myself dating somebody and me being afraid to tell them that I feel deep feelings for them. What the fuck are you dating them for then? You should have been very comfortable to tell her that. And when she felt that you were not, she was like, okay, well, I'm just going to continue to date other people because, if you're not being serious, then I'm going to date other people. But then you sit around here telling your mama that you feeling some type of way, or that, you been feeling played or whatever the case may be. And you didn't even let Destiny know that you wanted to take it to a next level. So how would she know that? Girl. Ooh, child. The niggas on this show are trash. Even the sons. My God. So Destiny lets him know that, she wants to be forthcoming and transparent, right? So she says, I want to be forthcoming with you and transparent. I spoke to Trisha, and Trisha had let me know that Twan, your god brother, wanted to, get with me. And if he's interested, I wanted to take him up on an offer. He says that that's weird. And, he didn't say it was weird. He said that, they don't have any ties. They're not like in a relationship. She's free to do whatever she wants to do. They have his blessing, right? And this is all after he basically said that you was flirting, with the security guard who was my god brother and whatever the case may be, which Destiny didn't even know anyway. But, at the end of the day, you can tell that he does feel some type of way about it. And once again, it's just strange to me how you are failing to tell her how you really feel again. And it's almost as if you want to act like you're ready for these type of relationship dynamics, that you are ready for marriage, that Destiny had these red flags, but you have red flags. At the end of the day, what I see from Lance is a bitch ass mama's boy who can't communicate how he feels and expect the woman to run up behind him, wipe his nose, wipe his ass, and, cater to him emotionally. That's what I see. Because once again, you failed to let her know that you really did feel some type of way about it, that it made you feel weird. Nobody is going to hold up a certain level of morality that you can't hold up for yourself. I'm not going to say it's out of the question for me to date your god brother if he's interested in me and you out here having babies. See, what you wanted Destiny to do, you wanted Destiny to be like, oh, well, I wouldn't date him because, that's your god brother and yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, why would you expect her to have the same this high moral value if you couldn't have that while y'all two were talking? You couldn't even tell her how you really felt. You had a baby. You were fucking hoes unprotected. Then you also call her a hoe at the vow renewal. So why do you why do you expect other bitches to read your mind? That's just weird to me. And you snooze, you lose. Exactly, Verlene. So let's move on. So Maurice and the men meet up for golf, right? Martell asks Lance, how him and Destiny doing with the baby thing. He explains that, Destiny told him that she was hurt with the fact that she was never told before he put it on social media. And, he says that he didn't tell Destiny because, he didn't he didn't want to hurt her. He didn't want to lose her. He didn't know how she would react. And on top of that, he has deep feelings for her. He lying to her like they in a marriage. And I was like, what? Come again? I don't know if this is some country shit. I don't know if Ravine. Let me pause this for a second. Now, I want to let y'all know something here, okay? Y'all entitled to have y'all opinions. Y'all grown as hell. That has nothing to do with me, right? I'm on a live. I'm reading notes. I'm trying to interact with the comment section. Don't accuse me of doing some shit I'm not doing, please. Mind you, I'm also working. So if I don't see y'all comments, and if y'all don't agree, that's fine. Y'all in the comment section. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not here to like have discourse about who agrees with me and who does not agree with me. I'm just here to get this review out. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Okay. I really look, y'all. I've been real good. I've been on my best behavior. Okay. Work has been difficult for me. I'm coming up here to do this review. Y'all not paying me. Okay. Please don't piss me off. All right, let's have a good time. Because we don't want it to go left. Y'all don't want me to show my ass. Do y'all? I don't like to be upset and be angry. So I'm going to give a warning. Act like y'all have some sense in the comments. All right? Cool. Let's continue. So, Maurice and the men meet up for golf, right? Martell is talking to Lance about Destiny and the baby. Lance let us know that, he lying to Destiny like they married. Why is it that y'all equate lying to your spouses and being married? Like, are those two things like synonymous with each other? Is what you're saying? Is it like you're saying like if I get married to you, I'm gonna lie to you? I'm gonna lie to you. And then he says, but honestly, I don't think you can hurt Destiny feelings. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, Lance, like, what are you saying? Like, are you trying to say that she ain't human, or Destiny don't have feelings, or Destiny can't be hurt by some fuck shit that you doing, so you can just do or say whatever you want to say to her and she ain't gonna feel no type of way about it? Like, why is it that you trying to make it sound as if Destiny don't have feelings of her own? Why is that? Y'all, I really realized that in this review that Lance is a bitch. Lance is a bitch ass nigga. And I feel like men that have these characteristics of not telling you how they feel, but going to niggas and telling the niggas how they really feel is insane to me. Now he goes on to tell Martell that Destiny is actually dating one of his boys, his homeboy. Now I was like, so wait a minute. Is this nigga supposed to be your friend? Or is this nigga supposed to be your god brother? Which one is it? Cause you calling him your god brother, but now you calling him your homeboy. Anybody that's my god sister, my god brother, I just call him my brother and my sister. I don't ever call him my friend. That's some weird shit. So is this just one of your friends that you grew up with that your mama just took into her bosom, because Nell wants to be the best mammy in the USA? One thing Nell loved to do was counsel bitches and be mammy to bitches. That's what she loved to do. So was she really christened as the godmama? Or is this somebody you grew up with that your mama just took a liking to because she's male identified? I can't really keep up with what's the truth and what's not the truth. So who knows, y'all? Let's continue. But he goes on to say that, Destiny told him about, them possibly dating. And, Martell asked, well, how do you feel about that? He was like, I don't like you. I feel some type of way about it. And I didn't tell her that, but like, I feel some type of way. Why didn't you tell her that? Why is it that you're going to everybody else? And y'all, this is what pisses me off, is when I see something so repetitious in a small time frame. I realize what starts me to ranting on here is if you did the same. Like, how are you constantly doing the same shit in just a 10-minute? What's going on? Why the fuck can't you tell her how you really feel, nigga? Why are you dogging her out in front? And this is the thing about you, Destiny. You see this right here? You want to call this nigga your brother, meaning Martell, right? And you want to call these niggas your friends and shit like that, right? But this man was uncomfortable to tell you how he really felt, but did not hesitate to tell the nigga who's your brother how you ain't shit, basically, and how you a hoe that's trying to date his friend. Why did he feel comfortable to tell your brother that? It's because these niggas are all misogynistic and they all have a certain level of respect for each other that they don't have for y'all, which makes it no sense to me why all you bitches on this show are so male identified. Y'all sitting here fighting over what the niggas are saying, and the niggas are out here dapping and playing golf. Y'all about to fight? Y'all about to scrap each other, and these niggas out here playing golf and drinking beers together. And y'all the ones upset. The craziest shit to me. Let me gather myself. Let me gather myself. Sorry, I lost it for a little bit. I got it back. My bad. Child, so listen. So Marceau arrives, and I was like, oh God, Marceau is coming. It's such a grand reveal. I'm like, it's not really giving what you think that it's giving, but it is what it is. One thing I am proud about Marceau doing this episode is not backing down from Martell. Now, will he like to get into a scuffle with Martell? No. I don't think he want to fight that man. But is he afraid to go at it with Martell? It doesn't really seem as that's the case. He lets us know in the confessional that, he's going to come. He's going to come, to the events or whatever the case may be. And he says that, he doesn't want smoke, but if there is smoke, he's not going to run from it, right? He says that, if there is a flame, he wants to be the gas to create that spark. So I was like, oh, so you want to be with the bullshit. You want to be with the bullshit, basically. That's what it is. I wonder, is it because all of these niggas are here to separate the two of y'all if y'all were to get into a fight? Is that why this is the case? Or did you just have some new chutzpah? So let's move on, child. So Martell is in a confessional letting us know that Marceau is two-faced and men shouldn't have that trait. Martell, you are the fakest bitch on the cast. I want to say that again. You the fakest bitch on this cast, Martell. You are the main one who smiles in people's faces talks behind their back, act like you they friend 1 second, and then go and do fucked up shit and talk and try to expose them because you a hating ass nigga. You do all of that. You are the two-faced bitch of this cast of men. That's who you are. See, now it's all types of bitches on this, on this show, right? You have your asshole type of bitches. That's Marceau. You have your hypocritical, fake bitches. That is, that's Maurice. But then you have your two-faced hater type of bitches. That's you. That's your category. That's your category. I can't say that that Marceau really gives me two-faced. That's you. But let's continue. Now, it ain't a scene with all the men if we don't have Ken discussing Trisha and the baby daddy. I forgot the baby daddy name. Honestly, I can't remember what his name is. But, once again, we always have to talk about him and Trisha's relationship. I'm like, fuck Ken and Trish. I'm so tired of hearing about you motherfuckers. Either y'all gonna get married or not. At this point, we don't give a fuck. We don't care. We don't. But I'm gonna go through it. So Ken starts discussing him and Trisha and how he's tired of catering to both, Trisha and Marquise. Is that his name, Marquise? Or is it Marcus? Either way, how he's tired of catering to both sides, and he's saying that none of the trauma is being dealt with, ain't no therapy being started, and ain't no marriages, marriage licenses being signed. He says that, he's just getting tired of it, right? He says that he don't even know if he's ready to marry Trisha. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Excuse me. Can we just pause on the play? I thought you said that you and Trisha was fine. That you and Trisha had a great relationship, and that the only problem that y'all have in y'all relationship is Marquise. I thought that's what you said. You said y'all relationship was great. You said y'all communication is fine, but now you're talking about anger, unresolved trauma, not being dealt with, therapy not being, used, and everything else like that makes it sound as if you were fucking lying. And if y'all remember what I said if you remember what I said at the time, right? A couple reviews ago, right? When all of the shit that was happening between Trisha, Marquise, and Ken, I said that Ken was using Marquise as a way. Marquez. It's pronounced Marquez. Y'all, Marquise, Marquez, Marcus. I can't keep up with this shit. It's way too many M's. In Huntsville. That's weird. Why is Huntsville the home of the M niggas? Like, I don't understand. Too many M&Ms. So I told y'all that Marquez was being used as a tool to help Trisha and Ken, stay close to one another, because as long as y'all have a common enemy, y'all can ignore all of the fuck shit in y'all relationship. When truth be told, you're not really mad at Marquez, you're mad at Trisha and how she's not marrying you. But you're not going to be honest about that. You're going to just say it's Marquez. Marquez is all the problems that we have between one another. And I told y'all then, it felt to me as if they were using him as a way to get closer to one another, because it's almost like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And now all of a sudden, Marquez is out of the picture. Marquez ain't been filming because allegedly Marquez pulled a rifle or whatever the case may be on you, right? So now he's out of the picture. So now that Marquez is gone, the problem's gone. The problem is not here anymore, right? We have to focus on the relationship between me and this woman. And now, because I can't blame everything on Marquez and talk down on Marquez and make Marquez seem like he's beneath us and he's so childish while we're so mature, now I'm starting to see that there's issues in my relationship. Like we were able to see a season ago when on the finale of the season, you like literally exposed all of the fuck shit that she was doing in y'all relationship in her house. How she was texting Marquez that she'll get with him in a heartbeat if he wanted her back. You don't remember? I remember. So now it's kind of funny to me how you're talking all of this shit about, oh, I don't even know if I'm ready to marry her. So then they go into asking him, so, okay, so are you dating other people? He was like, no, man, like I'm just chilling. Like, I ain't trying to go date nobody else. I ain't out here looking for another woman. I was like, well, if you don't want to marry her, if you don't want to marry her, and you feel that she's not dealing with her trauma, she's not dealing with her, dealing with her anger issues, her communication, y'all can't really get on one accord, why are you still there? You saying that you don't even know if you want to marry her anymore at this point. So you saying that you just want to be in a fucked up relationship with bad communication, trauma, and anger, but you just don't want to be in a marriage with those things. So you could be in a relationship under one household with that, but a marriage is where you cross the line. See, I see we can cuss each other out, talk shit about each other, have bad communication, but baby, don't put no ring on the finger when we doing all of that. That changes everything. That changes everything. Right? Ken is a fucking clown. It just really bothers me when people are just like, they just be saying dumb shit. So you're not looking for another woman. You ain't dating nobody else, but now you dragging her, talking about you don't even know if you want to marry her at this point. Ain't no work being done. You tired of catering. Then why you still there? You don't want to, like, why you still there? Doesn't make sense. My God. You big buff, infertile ass nigga. Let me move on, child. So Martell asked Ken, so how do you know Arion? He said that him and Trish had a conversation and Trish let him know that, Ken knew Arion. I was like, well, when did what? When did you talk? When did y'all have this communication? When did y'all have this private convo about about him knowing Arion? Like, are y'all talking privately, one-on-one? Y'all got each other number? Y'all texting? What is this? And I was shocked that nobody else asked that question. Wait, it's giving not y'all talking, not y'all keep on talking about the infertile. What is it's giving? Wait, it's giving. And you can relate too, Buffy, because you're infertile. Hold on, child. Can you please provide savings, April? Girl, anyway. Remember, Ken aired Trisha out at the end of last season. I just said that, Lee. I just said that. Yeah, I was like, I don't like. That's why I was so shocked when he said that, like, oh, our relationship is perfect, and like Marquez is the problem. I was like, nigga, that's not what y'all was on last season. And it ain't like it's years between these seasons. Y'all filmed this shit continuously back to back. You just exposed her last year. Like, what are we talking about? But let's continue, child. So anyway, So he says, I don't know Ariane. If I did know Ariane, I'll let you know, man. But I'm gonna just be real. I don't know that woman. And he says, thank you, man. You a real man for that. And we see him in the confessional telling us that, Ken is a real man for letting him know the real. I was like, so was you not a real man when you didn't let him know the fucking real? Huh? Ken had to come and ask you, and you knew that Ariane had been over to your house and that y'all was messaging. And then you didn't even let him know what you really felt. You lied then again. Because you were like in one breath with another bitch, you were saying that she came over, slid in your DMs and wanted to see what was good, but you saw her and you was like, nah, that ain't my type. She ain't fine. But then in front of him, you said that she just came over for some training. Martell is a basket case. This nigga crazy. Like Martell is literally insane. Like the shit that he says, I don't even think that he hears how he sounds. Let me hurry up and get this done. I only got about 2 more scenes left. I can get through this, child. Right, so moving on. So now, Will says, well, the only reason I know her is because she came over to my baby mama business. I was like, what? What does that even mean? Like what? Y'all, this I was like, why is Will here? Can somebody explain to me why Will's here? Can somebody explain to me why Will is here? Now, y'all know I think Will is fine. But why is he here? Why is Lance here? Like, you niggas aren't on the cast. Like, why are y'all here? And what I just don't understand. Like, is it me or do y'all think it's kind of strange how Lance wants to hang out with his dad's friends? Like, I don't like, do y'all be hanging around y'all mama and her friends, or do y'all have y'all own friend groups? Or are we just doing this shit because we just need more people on the show? I was just like, well, why is Lance here again? Like, nigga, you the son. You ain't even on the cast. Why do you want to hang around niggas your daddy age? Don't you have some young people to go hang out with? And then when you see Lance with these people, it always seems like he turns into like a little boy. Cause he got to say some shit to try to relate to them on their level. Like, I'm that's why I gotta act like I'm married. I gotta lie to it, act like I'm married, man. You already know what it is, man. Like you were just so giddy to get Martell's approval. And then Martell dumbass telling your ass, go ahead, get yourself a woman to go handle things. Bitch, stop trying to get women to be y'all motherfucking slaves, ho. I hate you niggas. I really do. I really do. Y'all the worst. Why do women have to be like y'all? The women just out here like gazelles in the savannah running free. And here come a nigga with a lasso, yanking her, pulling her in to just be a slave. That sounds like the worst. Ooh, I would hate that. And this is what y'all looking forward to. This is this is it. I want a man. I want marriage. Is this why? This is it? For a nigga to just have you handle shit for him? Clean the shit out of his drawers, fix him something to eat, clean his apartment, clean his house, take care of his kids, massage his feet, massage your back. Meanwhile, you ain't even fuck that good. He can't even dick you down like that. When the last time he touched your feet? When the last time he gave you flowers? When the last time he catered to you? I would hate to be in this type of predicament. My God. All right, so let's move on. So we began to talk about Martell and Marceau. So Martell's like, after Will started joking about Ariane coming over to his place, for some training or whatever the case may be, and then, Marceau, making jokes about coleslaw, trying to antagonize him or whatever. Then Martell goes into, and that's why I had the conversation right there, with Tisha, because you was out here talking about my girl, saying shit about my girl and everything else like that, and I had to defend her. So I said whatever I needed to say about Tisha, about all the niggas that done had sex with her. I was like, they asked, okay, so what's the root of this? Where did this begin? Martell said it began with Skull. It begins with Skull. He says that, he used to work at the movie theater, and when Marceau had worked at the movie theater, he gave him a loan and also went into business with him so he could get bought out at a later date, and he never did that. And, Marceau goes into saying that Martell always thought that he was above them, and now the roles have changed, and now he's a fucking hater that just wants to see everybody else's relationship fail because his relationship has failed. And I'm like, haven't we already had this discussion before? This is this is just repetitive. Why are we talking about shit from like 5, 6, 7 years ago? Didn't this show come on like almost a decade ago? We talking about Skull? Girl, like I just Marceau coming up with some imaginary like real estate properties he owned. He was like, number one, I didn't need your loan. You trying to make it sound like you did something for me, but honestly, I own this real estate business. I own this apartment, this apartment complex, You owned an apartment complex, but working at the movie theater, you own like 10 properties, but working at the movie theater, working overtime. You owned all of this stuff, but when we first seen you and Tisha, y'all was in that small ass bedroom where the lamp was right next to y'all pillow damn near. Because the room was so closed in. I almost got claustrophobia looking at it. What the fuck are you talking about? When, like, these imaginary businesses, these imaginary real estate properties, and then Chris is in the confessional telling us, like, the shit ain't adding up, because if you owned all of these properties, why did you even need to get a loan in the first place? Well, Chris, it's because he's a fucking liar. And that's why. He didn't own all of these businesses. He didn't own no damn business. He didn't own no damn real estate. Nigga, y'all niggas just be just lying, just coming up with shit. If I ever own like multiple properties, if I ever own like if y'all see me ever own a damn apartment complex, do not expect me to be at your nearest movie theater handing y'all bitches popcorn. Do not expect me to be there. Okay? Do not expect me to be like, cleaning up the popcorn out of the seats, picking up the empty bottle of slushies and slushy cups out of the movie theater. If I own 10 properties, including 2 apartment complexes, like, do y'all niggas even try when y'all be lying on here? Do y'all even like really listen to the shit that y'all saying before y'all say it? Or do y'all just assume that we just all stupid? But let's continue. So Marceau says, and yeah, I made jokes about your relationship, but I only did that once, and I apologize, and I never brought it up since. I was like, nigga, you're lying. That's a lie. Y'all talked about their relationships and made jokes out of it for seasons. And another thing about it is who was making light of their, like, you know, of their divorce. Because I don't think that Melody was doing that. I don't think that Melody was making light of the divorce. Like, we see multiple scenes of her emotionally broken because of that. Like, I just like I just don't like, to me, sometimes I just don't understand. Like, you can just say nothing rather than just make up some shit, right? Like, we don't have to say something that's untrue. Like, and to be honest, Martell even bringing up, you making jokes about his relationship, it was all fun and games to you when everybody was making Melody's life a living hell, right? But now Melody out of the picture, and she ain't there for you to terrorize in this friend group anymore. Now you want to take offense to it years after the fact. Fuck you, Martell. Fuck you. You should have been got upset with it, but no, you were making light of it to piss her off, to hurt her. And you were fine with everybody else doing it because you knew it hurt her. So no, nobody give a fuck about what you feel, you bitch ass nigga. I really don't like him. I really don't like that nigga. I don't like him. Child, so Maurice is saying, okay, so we need to bring some healing here. So what can we do? Like, how can we bring healing? Martell says, you know, can we just go outside? So I thought they were going outside to fight. Honestly, when he said let's go outside, I was like, is he saying like let's fight and get it over with? I was like, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see how this plays out. But like, no, they all went outside to basically have the same conversation that they were having inside again, just so Maurice can try to make it seem as if he is so much mature than everybody else in the scene. You know, there's some egos coming into play. You know, he's throwing some digs. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You are so annoying. What? Like, you think that you smarter than everybody else. It is not mature for you to bring these two niggas who don't like each other in one space to try to make them be friends. Being a fucking adult with no ego and maturity, you would respect their boundaries and not try to force them into a friendship. And why the fuck do you want to be friends with somebody who not only dogged you out, dogged your brother out, dogged out your wife, dogged out his wife? Why? It's almost as if you're trying to distract us from something, i.e., you being a terrible fucking dad to Jalen. Can we talk about that? Since you know you spending more time trying to repair the relationship between Martell, Maurice, and yourself than you are trying to spend time with your own fucking son. Kimmy already let you know that they want you to spend time with Monster, but no, you too busy trying to kiss Martell's ass and rebuild friendships with niggas who claim that y'all had threesomes with hoes and shit like that. Anyway, they start getting into it again. Marceau and Martell, yada yada yada. I'ma keep it on. I'ma keep it in a tuck for whenever you decide to respond against the review. You put the pussy on the table. I'ma wait until you respond. La da da da. Will asks, okay, so how can we get past this? How can we come to some type of amends? Marceau says, we will never come to any amends. I don't bring him up. Just please keep my name out your mouth. Period. That's it. That was the end of that scene. Let's move on. This whole scene was a mess. I was like, none what? It's just like everything's just so disjointed and unorganized. Like nothing has any thought into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but let's continue. So Nell meets up with Lance and her godson. So Nell arrives at the boxing ring, right? You know, she's about to get some boxing training. You know, she's out here like, I'm like, is that how you gonna kick hoes' asses? I was like, is that how you punch, Nell? I was like, if that's how you punched, and I feel like I am 100% correct when I say that if you were to get into a fight with Kimmy will beat your ass. I 100% feel that after seeing, I was like, Kimmy will fuck her up. Kimmy will fuck her up. Kimmy will fuck her up. You can't convince me otherwise. After seeing them punches, baby is giving no. So let's continue, child. So she asked Lance, like, how's the baby? Everything, you know, is everything good? Lance said the baby is good, but he wants to talk to her about, you know, something that involves all three of them, you know, him, Twan, and Nell. And I'm like, well, what involves Nell? How does this involve Nell? How does whatever you got going on with Destiny, whatever, you know, Twan has going on with Destiny, how does that involve Nell? So how are all three of y'all involved? Like, that's weird. Anyway, he brings up the convo that he had with Destiny and tells his mom how Trish brought up that Twan was interested in dating her. Twan looked like he almost shit his pants. He was like, I was like, is anybody going to ask Twan some questions? I was like, the one thing about this that's really bothering me is how we dogging Destiny out because of this, but ain't nobody really asking Twan any questions. Was that true? Did you tell Trish that? Why would you be interested in somebody that your god brother dated? Nobody asking those questions, but we all asking Destiny why she want to be a hoe. Anyway, let's continue. So he brings up his combo with Destiny and tells his mom that, you know, Destiny basically said that she would take him up on the offer. You know, Nell brings up how he hired Twan to protect her and take her home. And then he says, then Nell asks Twan, did you hit it? Pause. See, this is where you bitches got shit fucked up. See, you old bitches, y'all think that once y'all become a certain age, that y'all can go around acting like you ain't never been young before. Like you ain't never wanted to fuck somebody before. If she did fuck him, so what? At the end of the day, your son was fucking hoes unprotected and he didn't even know if he was the daddy or not. What are we talking about? And he says, no, he did not hit it. And if he did, she would know. I was like, well, why would she know if you fuck somebody? Do you, like, every single time y'all drop some dick off to bitches, y'all go and tell Nell, got another one? Like, what are we even saying? This shit don't even make sense. And I'm gonna wait, Nell, until we get to that last scene, but I really am gonna light your ass up. But let's continue to go through this. So he says, you know, I would like, and you know, you would know. Nell says that she don't normally get in her son's businesses or whatever the case may be, but this is just too much. I was like, you're a motherfucking lie. You probably do get in their business all the time. And the women that they do date probably don't like your ass. And you are one of those fucking moms that protect their son no matter what the fuck they do and try to justify all of the shit that they do and try to make everything the woman's problem. That's exactly the type of woman that you probably are, because you are what? Male identified, and your son is what? A bitch ass mama's boy. That's what it's given to me. You always probably in their fucking business. Because if you didn't normally get in their business, you wouldn't do it now, because Destiny has not said anything to you about their relationship. So Nell says, is this supposed to be get back for the baby? Lance said it does feel like get back. Okay, well, Lance, why the fuck didn't you say that to Destiny then? And then Lance goes on to say, oh, it just feels weird. I mean, like, you got to admit that it's weird, right? You got to admit that it's weird, right? Like you couldn't date anybody else. Like, at the end of the day, Lance, it's something so bitch ass of you to sit here and drag this woman in front of all of these different people, and you fail to let her know how you really feel. Like, you could go around telling your mama, your brothers, your homeboys, your daddy's friends, your daddy, everybody else except Destiny. Why didn't you tell Destiny that it felt like she was trying to get back? Why didn't you tell her that? And then so Nell's activated. Nell's activated. So she put her counselor, secretary hat down, and now she put on the overprotective mama hat now. Now she, not my son. She played in your face. And he's like, I give it my blessing and yada yada yada. It's cool with me as long as y'all are happy. That's fine. If you really felt like that, you wouldn't even said that shit in front of your mama so she could have this reaction. If you really felt that way, you wouldn't be telling your mama, who you already know how she fucking moves, that this is weird and that you feel some type of way. If you really felt that way. So then she goes into saying, I know how my boys is. I know you hit it. You ain't got to tell me that you hit it. I already know that you hit it. I was like, so your son is a hoe. But you mad that a woman is sitting here playing the same games that your son is. Is that what I'm hearing? So you basically saying your son is a hoe and that he goes around putting his dick wherever he pleases. And now she's trying to get back. And if she was getting get back, who gives a fuck? If she was, so what? Your son had a fucking baby. If she was gonna get back, so the fuck what? I get as much get back as you want to. And then the weirdest thing, y'all, that she said after that, she said, and Destiny's just dating everybody. She dating Moses, yada yada yada. She's just trying to date all the fine men around me. Okay. Am I like what's the problem? You want her to date ugly niggas? If niggas are fine, if a nigga is fine, I will be there. If a nigga is fine, expect me somewhere in the vicinity. Dating fine niggas is what makes the world go round. Just because y'all like to date niggas that buy Burlington Coat Factory suits and got big ass backs and shit that cheat on y'all in Huntsville don't mean that everybody else want that. Even Destiny old nigga, LeBarrick was fine. Destiny always keep her a fine ass man. Because at least Destiny know that she fine. So she gonna have at least the men may be unavailable emotionally, mentally, but one thing they will be is fine. That's one thing I will give Destiny. I ain't seen her date an ugly nigga yet. Just because you dating a nigga that look like he's a fucking a carburetor operator don't mean that everybody else want that. Your son is fine. And on top of that, he looks just like you. Like, you should expect bitches to want to fuck him. Your godson, if that's who he really is to you, it's fine. You should expect bitches to want to fuck him. I don't see the problem. And another thing about it is, just because you're dating somebody don't mean that you're going around having sex with them. Like, women should be able to date without having to be held down. Why is it that women have to be held to this monogamous standard when it comes to dating? Not being in a relationship, but dating. But the men can go around fucking and entertaining whoever they want to. You felt some type of way because Destiny was entertaining other people, but in the same breath, you was going around fucking hoes unprotected. And you don't even know you didn't even know you was a daddy or not. So you don't even know this whole fucking other niggas unprotected, which means you don't even know her like that. And what pisses me off the most is like you trying to make it seem as if like Destiny is some type of fucking hoe when the hoe is your son. The hoe is your son. Destiny to come out here with a fucking baby. Your son did. And your son has already let us know that he didn't even know if he was the daddy or not. Let me move on, child. So Lance was in the confessionals, right? Talking about, my mom is doing a bit too much. What me, Destiny, did or did not do is between me and her. She needs to calm down. Well, why the fuck did you bring it up to her? Why did you bring her into this scene? Why did you mention this? It's kind of strange how in the confessionals after the fact, you're talking about, oh, this is between me and Destiny, but you didn't have no fucking problem making it an issue to your mama that she's trying to date your god brother. If you were so cool with it, you wouldn't have brought it to her because it didn't mean anything. You have a whole fucking baby to deal with. So if you talking to Destiny was just too much on your plate because you got a fucking baby now. The last thing that you should be fucking worried about is your god brother dating somebody that you don't have any fucking ties to. But no, you decided to bring it up to her so she can drag Destiny. But the thing about it is you probably felt bad after all of this happened. So now you go into the confessionals after the scenes, and now you want to act like your mama doing too much, but you already knew the bitch was going to do too much when you brought it to her. I don't like that shit. Like all of that back childish, passive aggressive, nanny, I'm gonna tell my mama type of shit, nigga. I can't. I really cannot. You niggas need to grow up. So Twan says, I'm open to dating Destiny. She's a very attractive individual, very beautiful woman, right? But me and her will have to have some conversation, whatever the case may be. And he kept on saying, at the end of the day, this is my brother. I was like, nigga, if it was your brother, you wouldn't even have told Trish that you wanted to date her and that you were interested in her. So please give us a fucking break. You want her because Destiny fine. One thing I can't call Destiny is ugly. I can't call Destiny. I don't think a nigga will push Destiny out of the bed. So no. It's not really giving that, oh, me and her, a conversation about what exactly. She, like, your brother already let you know that he and Destiny didn't really get to have sex or whatever case may be. So it really doesn't even matter at this point. But the weird thing to me, Destiny, is that based on how his family feels about you, I wouldn't even feel comfortable dating this man. So let's move on. So Nell and Destiny meet up. We at the final scene. Ooh, y'all, we're making it under an hour and 30. Yes. So Destiny lets us know that she felt that they needed to talk because she wanted to be able to pick up the phone and call Nell like she has been doing for the past decade. I was like, decade? Decade? I was like, decade? Like y'all been knowing each other for a decade. Hold on for a second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I see. So, like, was anybody else surprised about this? Like, her knowing each other for a decade? Like that, like Destiny say everybody, she knows everybody for like a decade to 15 years. Have y'all noticed that it's always 10 to 15 years? Like a decade, and this woman got on the reunion stage and say that she don't even know you like that is insane to me. And it really didn't even seem like she knew you that well. I thought y'all were getting to know each other like 3 or 4 years ago. Like, I don't like a decade. But okay, I guess. So Destiny said that she was confused by the energy, and Nell brings up her saying that she would, reevaluate the friendship. So Destiny, you can't go around saying that you're confused when people's energy changes because you said that you were going to reevaluate your friendship. You should expect the energy to change after you say that. That didn't even make sense to me why she was even expecting, Nell to not act differently after that. Don't say shit that you don't mean. Destiny says that she didn't treat her any differently, and she was processing stuff, and so she was hurt. About Sonny being invited to the to the damn bachelorette party. Girl, this conversation is so old. Like, oh my God. We talking about stuff from like seasons ago. It just don't make sense to me. So Destiny goes into saying that Tisha said that they left Los Angeles to go to the baby. Nell says we did not leave to go handle no damn baby. And Tisha better keep my name out her mouth and my family name out her mouth. And I was like, but you did say that, Nell. You fucking lying. You definitely said that. I remember the scene. You were out there with Tisha and Trisha and Kimmy, and you said that you got a call that the baby was coming and you had to fucking leave. So what are you talking about that you never said that? Yes, you did. But the thing about it is you want to make it seem as if you did not know, so you have some type of reason to feel as if you have the one up to attack Destiny, but no, you fucking don't. You fucking lying. You're a liar. You definitely said that. Like, what are we even talking about? Like, bitch, it's on camera. Bitch, it wasn't even that long ago. This was just like 3-4 episodes ago. Are you okay? Y'all only on episode 7. Now, if this was like episode 18, 19, it would be different. But this was just a few weeks ago in y'all timeline. How you forget? Girl. Anyway. So Nell says, you and my son was dating, but you out here, flirting with my godson in my damn face. So I should be the one reevaluating the friendship. Destiny says, well, let's get this clear. Nell says, let's get it crystal clear. I was like, girl, that worked when it came to Tisha, but now you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Because she's not even giving you that type of energy. She's been very respectful to you. And that's the thing about it. You hoes want to act like y'all are counselors, like that y'all are mother figures for bitches, that y'all are, like this comforting mother nature type of fucking energy and shit like that. But as soon as somebody does something that you don't like, or, say something that rubs you the wrong way, you don't have a fucking problem with acting like they are fucking hoe, or they're a terrible person, or whatever the case may be. You sat here said that you have this special place in your heart for Destiny. Meanwhile, you sat here this whole episode and called Destiny a hoe, basically. Put like 8 niggas on her body. But you the mentor. You the mentor. You the counselor. You the mother figure. See, that's the thing. Hoes like you are not mature enough to really have those titles. Because if you did, you would be able to emotionally separate her dating your son and you and her relationship, but you cannot. You can't be a petty bitch, but also want to be a mother and a counselor to people. And Destiny calling this lady her like her spiritual advisor, her mother, and everything else like that is just very disappointing. And I can understand where Destiny is coming from, because I am also somebody who has a strained relationship with my real mom, right? So I always needed mothering energy from other people. But the thing about it is, as you get older and you do that self-reflection and you actually take the time to work on yourself with therapy, you know, introspection, things like that, you realize that although you may want that energy, you may not get it. And that hurts. And that's unfair. But fuck it, life is unfair. You're not always going to get everything that you want. That, you know, it's plenty of people that wish they had, you know, for example, let's say Karen Sheard and Karen Clark Sheard. You know, Karen, I think her name Kiara Kelly now, Kiara Sheard Kelly. You know, they have a beautiful relationship, right? Everybody is not going to have that. Everybody is not going to have that. Now, can you find women to kind of give you that? Yes. But is Nell that? No. She's not mature enough. She's too petty. And it kind of made me even more upset because I was like, you know how this woman felt about you being like a mother figure to her, and you sat here, dogged her out this whole episode. Now, like, that's so low. Like, that's so low. And you want to know something else, Nell? See, this is the thing. See, you bitches want to call yourselves counselors, call yourselves motherfucking mother hens to bitches and shit like that. And y'all don't want to take the responsibility of what that really means. You being a counselor, a listening ear, a spiritual advisor to her lets me know that this woman opened up to you about her divorce, her marriage, her struggles, her parental relationships, and you knew how she saw you. You knew how she felt about you. But instead of you holding that into consideration before you decided to run off your mouth about her pussy miles, you decided to just attack her instead. And that lets me know that you shouldn't be counseling anybody. You don't have the maturity. You don't have the wisdom for that. Just because you're older don't mean that you're wiser. Okay? So it's like it doesn't make sense to me how you want to be the mother hen to hoes, but in the same breath be petty bitches to hoes and be messy and shit like that. Like kind of like how you were calling yourself a mentor, but bringing up Destiny and Sunny sleeping with the same man. Talking about you didn't want to hurt Destiny. You never wanted to hurt Destiny, but you literally cackled about the fact that you invited somebody that she don't fuck with to your party. But not only that, but you also cackled about the fact that they probably shared the same sausage. Like, you're not a counselor, like you're not a mentor. And if you are, bitch, they need to reject the certificate. Whatever shit that Britt Edie said that they was doing with her certificate, they need to do that shit with your certificate. I don't know who the hell you was counseling. I don't know where you was getting counseled at, the training, but I don't trust it. So, you know, Destiny goes on to tell Nell, well, you know, I didn't know that was your godson, and your son was already moving differently. I wasn't moving any different. Nell says, yes, you was. All that shit you was doing. She was like, what was I doing? She was like, you was dating Moses, you was dating Jalen, you was dating Lance, you was dating Twan. Like, you just putting that big D energy everywhere. I was like, who the fuck do you think that you are to be talking to her like that? And I don't know why you feel like dating and having sex is synonymous. They're not. You can date people, but not sleep with them. Destiny says, I never slept with any of those people besides Moses. And you're not going to be putting all of these bodies on me. I don't just be out here being loosey-goosey. Now that's to be determined. But honestly, I don't believe in slut shaming anyway. I believe a woman should be able to feel power in her sexuality and have sex with whoever she pleases and how many ever she pleases, as long as she's safe about it, right? So I don't believe in slut shaming. You know, I won't ever do that here. But, you know, I was like, ooh, Nell. I can see it now. I can see why, Nell. Bitches gonna be on your head top. They could be on your head top. So Nell and her are going like are looking at each other. Destiny says, how am I gonna get rid of you? They start giggling, and Destiny started blowing smoke up Nell's ass and really started to get into how much Nell means to her. And y'all know that as soon as you tell Nell that she's a mother, that she's a secretary, that she's a counselor, that she's Mother Teresa, that you felt like she was a mom to you, that's gonna soften her up to avoid any further issues, right? So as soon as she said that, Nell and her decided to get back on one accord and come to some type of agreement. And she says that she was real hurt with the fact that Nell said that she didn't really know her on that stage. Nell says, well, maybe I just didn't know you at that time. What the fuck does that even mean? What does that mean? According to Destiny, you've been knowing this bitch for a decade, for 10 years. If you were to take a decade off my life, I would be 20. I wouldn't even be able to drink. So how the fuck have you known her, been a counselor to her and a secretary to her for like 10 years and you didn't know her? Nell, you looking real flosses. You looking as fake as them Tyler Perry play wigs. But y'all listen. Destiny ends up getting very emotional about her trauma with her mama, and I can understand that. Like, listen, I know what it's like to have a very difficult relationship with your mama and really feel like you really need that mothering energy, and not being able to receive that and everything else like that. And if Destiny wants Nell to be that for her, and Nell is going to do that, then good for them. I don't really think that's a good idea because Nell doesn't seem to be mature enough to separate the two. But, it is what it is. Who am I to judge? Okay. But y'all listen, that's the end of the review. Okay. We finished this. Hope y'all enjoyed this. I know I did. Okay. And Nell, you full of shit. You looking real flawed this episode. And that's the thing about this show. I feel that a lot of people expect, I feel like I can always peep the wrong in every type of situation. So just because you wrong in a situation between you and Destiny, don't mean that I think that you automatically wrong in a situation between you and Tisha, or whatever the case may be. I feel like circumstances are all different. So I have to look at them differently and separately, right? But like, y'all, listen, I gotta go. It's been about an hour and 20. I'll see y'all later. Love yourselves. And nobody told you today, I love you, okay? Love yourself, drink water. Please don't, not love yourself, because when you don't, you end up looking like Nell, who look like she ain't got shit else to do in her life. All right? But y'all, be easy, okay? Y'all be blessed. All right, bye.